Do you tend to beat yourself up when you make a mistake or when you don't get things right? Like, are you just that person who's super hard on themselves? This is the fourth in a six-part series I'm doing around how to coach yourself to move forward and to get the answers you need for the different challenges and opportunities you're facing. And I've been taking questions from you. So here is the question this week. Maybe you can relate to this, all right? It says, I'm pretty hard on myself. In many ways, it's gotten me to where I am because I work really, really hard. But then I never feel like I've done enough, and I end up beating myself up for not doing more, whether it's on my job, with my kids, my spouse, even committees I volunteer on. It's ridiculous. I'm not hard on other people, just myself, and it's taking a toll on my ability to feel content and happy with myself. How can I learn to not be so hard on myself that I can't relax and just enjoy where I am? Well, unfortunately, this is not an unusual problem. And here's the thing. When I'm talking about coaching, I always say we often are looking for the right answers, but we have to start with the right question. And so here's the question I want you to coach yourself with. It is one of my favorites, and it's simply this. If your best friend were going through the challenge that you're going through, what would you say to them and how would you treat them? In other words, when you think back on a most recent time when perhaps you were hard on yourself and you were beating yourself up, if you were instead dealing with your best friend going through that thing, what would you have said? Here's the thing. You said it yourself. You said you're not hard on other people. So the question is, why not practice what you preach? If you're encouraging and kind to the people that you care about, well, don't you care about yourself? Can you be a friend to yourself the way that you are a friend to the people in your life? Self-compassion, and that's really what this is called. Self-compassion lowers our stress levels. It actually re-energizes us, which causes us to feel a bit more motivated. So one of the things that I find interesting is that self-compassion in studies has been shown to be more important than self-esteem when it comes to being successful and achieving. And one of the things we can do to be more self-compassionate is when things are hard, when we mess up, just talk nicely. So you might say, you know what, these deadlines are hard, or balancing everything I've got going on is really hard, or maybe things didn't go the way I planned, but that happens sometimes. I'm human. I'm still here. I'm still showing up. Just talk to yourself kindly and you start to feel your stress level go down. So that's my answer for you. Practice a bit of self-compassion. Simply ask yourself when you start beating yourself up, you know what? If my best friend was going through this, what would I say to them? Self-coaching is a really powerful tool for personal growth. And if you've ever thought about, how could I ask myself better questions or how could I grow better? I have a great free course I'd love for you to check out. It's called How to Coach Yourself, and it's based on a book I wrote called Life Coaching for Successful Women. You can get it at valerieburton.com. And if you're thinking about how you can grow more intentionally, you might want to check out my membership. It's called the Successful Women's Academy, or SWA as we like to call it. And you can find that at valerieburton.com as well. But in the meantime, I want you to remember, when you ask the right questions, when you coach yourself, you often get the right answers. And when it comes to beating yourself up, the right question is, if I was talking to my best friend about this, what would I say to them? And whatever your answer is, say that to yourself.